Hey everyone, got another bonus episode for you this week. We actually recorded a couple after episode 23, so this is one of two where we talk about a couple beers each of us picked out. I guess we were both out shopping, saw a cool beer, and decided it'd be fun to talk about on the show. This one is a seasonal pick by Dogfish Head. So thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed this week's bonus episode on Campfire Amplifier.
What's the answer to my problems? Meth.
Obviously meth.
What a fucking career-altering event.
That's how I make money.
I'm the guy who knocks. Here's some meth.
Well, he found that out because his brother-in-law is a DEA agent, and his brother-in-law invited him on a ride-along, and the ride-along involved them busting a meth lab that was in some house in the neighborhood. And as Walter White's remaining in the vehicle, watching this bust take place.
I'll watch your bust.
One of the people who is at the house is seen escaping from the window, and it's Jesse, who he used to teach at school. Mm-hmm. So he's able to find where Jesse lives and visits him. And I forgot to mention that he, before this whole heist, he was watching on TV when Hank was being interviewed at a previous bust on how much money that they were able to recover from that bust. So Walter White, suffering with his condition and not knowing how he's going to be able to pay for everything and keep his family afloat, sees that as an opportunity. So that's why
makes me think of the dude that killed his son for insurance money.
Oh, the Halloween thing that we talked about? Yeah, people will do crazy stuff. I mean, killing one of your own family members and selling meth are a little different.
Yes, I would agree.
But did you see the first episode of Breaking Bad?
I think so.
So I was going to say, we should just do that instead of playing Fallout New Vegas. But I do want you to play Fallout New Vegas.
I can watch things on my own time, thank you. Yeah. I imagine watching it with you will probably make me not want to watch it.
Why?
I love you. I love you, okay? But I imagine watching it with you, like watching a BoJack Horseman with you, would make me not want to continue the show.
What would I do?
You got so pissy when I told you I read the Wikipedia.
Yeah, that you spoiled a show.
You were so pissy.
You spoiled a show.
You were so mad.
You spoiled a great show.
The tone you gave me was aggressive.
I couldn't believe you did that.
Do you want to hear how your voice was? Do you want me to recreate that for you? Because I was mad.
I could tell you were mad.
I was pissed. I was like, oh yeah, I read the Wikipedia because
couldn't believe
because of this, because my anxiety makes it so I get uncomfortable, so I can't really watch the show. I can still enjoy the show though. I still enjoy the story.
See, I don't know.
Just because I enjoy media in a different way than you enjoy media doesn't mean that we're not both enjoying and getting the same story.
Okay.
But anyways, your tone, as soon as I said, yeah, I looked up on the Wikipedia because I was curious, and you did what? You looked up on the Wikipedia? You spoiled the show? I was like, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't believe you. Couldn't believe you do that.
I have told you that I do that.
Okay, fine, you did it. You did it and it's done. We can't go back and change it. I can't with you. You should still watch it.
It was, honestly, it was the tone. It was the tone of the whole thing.
Okay.
It hurt my feelings.
Well, I'm sorry.
I'm still going to watch it.
I'm sorry, Paige. Sorry I hurt your feelings.
It really fucking hurt my feelings. You're just dramatic, and I was just like, did that really just fucking happen?
Yeah, seriously watch BoJack.
Yeah, I'm
it's such a good show.
After reading about it, I'm more interested in it because I usually don't give shows a chance as much as I should after the pilot because I don't find them interesting.
I do the same thing too.
So I read about it, and I was like, okay, this gets a little more interesting.
I think the first episode can make or break something. Just like our first episode on how it completely broke us. Mm-hmm. How it was not good.
Yeah. No one will go past that. Maybe we should put a disclaimer in. Skip the first episode.
BoJack and Breaking Bad, both phenomenal shows.
I'll probably give BoJack a chance. I don't know about Breaking Bad, just because it's long.
It's about as long as Breaking Bad, or about as long as BoJack.
Oh, it is?
It's 5 seasons.
Oh, okay, that's not bad then. Yep. How many episodes? First season.
I think like 12.
No, that's not bad. I can do that.
About the same as BoJack. Both phenomenal shows.
I'll give it a chance.
So we're doing this is one of 2 bonus episodes that we're recording after episode 23 about spontaneous human combustion. This first one, I was at Trader Joe's. I picked up the beer for spontaneous human combustion, and then I went to Trader Joe's to pick up a few groceries. And as I was getting ready to go to the checkouts, I passed their liquor section, which is very small, but they have a lot of really good wines and a lot of cool craft beers there.
Sure.
And I found this one sitting on the shelf. I only bought one bottle. You can buy per bottle, so we'll share this. And I saw it was by a brewery that we've talked about before, Dogfish Head.
Okay.
And I was intrigued by this beer. It's called Campfire Amplifier.
Interesting.
By Dogfish Head Brewery.
I'm nervous as soon as you say Dogfish Head, just because of my reaction to their
you might like
their
this.
sour.
We've talked about Dogfish Head before on the show, obviously.
We've had them
twice.
Has it been twice? I feel like it's been 3 times.
10th and the 11th episode.
Oh, it's only 2. Oh, okay.
Just very briefly, they opened in 1995 in Milton, Delaware. They recently celebrated their 25th anniversary
good for them.
on June 4th, 2020.
Nice.
This beer was released on October 9th, 2020.
Oh, shit. It's new.
It is their s'mores-inspired milk stout.
Oh, hey.
This is the description of the beer. Break out the s'mores fixins. There's a new brew in town. Inspired by cold nights around the campfire, this milk stout is brewed with marshmallows, graham crackers, cocoa nibs, cinnamon, Madagascar vanilla beans, and smoked malt. The only thing missing is a tent and a few fireside ghost stories.
Well, then. Fancy, fancy.
Speaking of fire, check out that label artwork. Campfire Amplifier's packaging is the first of future art series illustrations that will be done by our next art series artist, Ryan Besh.
We need to go back into talking about the art on the can.
Ryan has been designing notable gig posters and vinyl art for 20 plus years, and his alternative comics inspired approach pairs perfectly with our off-centered ales.
Neat.
I'll talk about milk stout, also called English style sweet stout. We've never had a stout on the show before.
Have we not?
We have not.
Wow.
This is still technically not the show. It's a bonus episode. We're not really counting this. I'm a huge fan of milk stouts and just stouts in general. I don't know how you feel about milk stouts. I think you had a unfavorable opinion about milk stouts.
I don't remember.
I remember, like, at Crafted, like, every time I would mention a milk stout, I think you weren't super, like, gung-ho about it.
Gosh, I don't think of milk and beer.
And we'll talk about that. A stout is a dark top-fermented beer with a number of variations, including dry stout, oatmeal stout, milk stout, chocolate stout, oyster stout, and imperial stout. Oyster stout intrigued me. I didn't do a whole lot of reading about oyster stout, but apparently it does have some history going back with stouts and oysters and the combination between the two. Check it out. It's interesting. The first known use of the word stout for beer was in a document dated 1677, found in the Egerton manuscripts, the sense being that a, quote, stout beer was a strong beer, not a dark beer. The name porter was first used in 1721 to describe a dark brown beer that had been made with roasted malts. Because of the huge popularity of porters, brewers made them in a variety of strengths. The stronger beers, typically 7 to 8% alcohol by volume, were called stout porters. So the history and development of stout and porter are intertwined, and the term stout had been firmly associated with dark beer rather than just strong beer.
So it's a milk stout then?
This is just stout in general.
Okay, but like your beer that you have.
It is a milk stout.
A milk stout. Okay.
But that talked about how stouts and porters are pretty similar, but I think porters refer to darker beers that have a higher ABV than stouts. Milk stout, also called sweet stout or cream stout, is a stout containing lactose, a sugar derived from milk. Because lactose cannot be fermented by beer yeast, it adds sweetness and body to the finished beer. Milk stout was claimed to be nutritious and was given to nursing mothers along with other stouts. Milk stout was also said to be prescribed by doctors to help nursing mothers increase their milk production.
Wow.
Yeah. The classic surviving example of milk stout is Mackeson's, for which the original brewers advertised that each pint contains the energizing carbohydrates of 10 ounces of pure dairy milk. A lot of this is probably not true anymore. Just like how doctors said smoking was good for you. This is probably some old language. The style was rare until being revived by a number of craft breweries during the craft beer boom of the 21st century. Craftbeer.com says it's a sweet stout, also referred to as cream stout or milk stout, is black in color. Malt sweetness, chocolate, and caramel should dominate the flavor profile and contribute to the aroma. It also should have a low to medium-low roasted malt barley-derived bitterness. Milk sugar, or lactose, lends the style more body. This beer does use lactose sugar, so people with an intolerance should probably avoid this style. This beer in particular is 6.5% ABV, 35 IBU. Description from Dogfish Head's website. The color is jet black with a tan head. Aroma is chocolate, s'mores, vanilla, cracker, light roast, and touch of smoke. Flavor is milk chocolate, s'mores, vanilla, sweet. Beer Advocate gives it a score of 88. Very good. It is ranked number 561 in milk stouts, ranked 15,477 overall, and has an average rating of 3.92.
That's pretty good.
That actually did better than our beer for the main episode. Craftbeer.com suggests pairing it with Mexican mole, or spicy barbecue,
I don't know about that.
buttery cheddar cheese, and chocolate cake with ice cream.
I could see the last one, but like...
Mexican mole or spicy barbecue. I wonder how those would go together. I don't know, maybe just the sweetness of the beer overall. I'll go get it.
Did you look at what the beer was that I picked out?
I didn't.
Okay, good. I would have been really mad.
I'll let it actually. It'll get a little warm in the glass. Look at the artwork on this. It's pretty cute.
I will say Dogfish Head always has the best can art. Oh, that's adorable.
In this case, bottle art.
Yes.
But yeah, it's from that artist that we talked about. I think the reason that we haven't been talking about the art on the cans is because I think most breweries don't outsource like their art from other like individual artists. I think most of it is, I'd be willing to argue, designed by people at the brewery. I think we started talking about it near the beginning of the show for those few cans because the art was actually somewhat notable and it took up the majority of the can of the bottle. And it was actually a relevant detail in describing the bottle or the can. And then we kind of stopped because I think things just got a little more mainstream or just not as notable. So it's Dogfish Head. I like their stuff. I like trying their new beer, or at least new beer to us.
Don't pour me a lot. I don't want to waste it if I don't like it.
Waste away in it?
No, I don't want to waste it as in, like, leave it in the cup because I hate it. And that's usually how I am with dark beers. I just think they're too thick. Don't you do it! That's enough! Fuck you.
We're sharing one bottle. Like I said, you could buy individual bottles at Benny's of some of these beers, which is nice. I didn't want to get two bottles for each of us because it's, bonus episode. We already drank some beer. We're going to drink more beer after this, so try it.
Look, clinky, clinky, clink, clink. It is dark as hell. You hold it up to the light, you cannot see anything through it. Obviously, we shared a bottle, so we don't have like a lot of foam on it, so you can't see the tan head that they were talking about.
A little bit, but it reminds me of
it smells very
the Goose Island beer.
Yes, which upset my stomach.
Oh.
It was sweet, and after the first couple sips, I was like, "Oh, this is a lot."
That was intense. It was also very just bourbon-y.
It was.
So I don't think this will be as like that. It'll be a little more sweet.
It doesn't
s'moresy.
I mean, obviously, my glass is not as full as yours, so my nose is not as close. But it does not smell that noticeable, I guess, compared to the Goose Island one. It's very subtle in smell.
Yeah. But
a taste.
Oh, I spilled.
Wow, that's like the third time today.
Jesus, what's wrong with me?
I'm going in.
Okay.
That's actually pretty good.
It could be maybe a touch warmer, but
see, I don't like the warm. I can understand how the warm would make it a little, like the flavor more noticeable, though.
The cold kind of subdues some of the flavors.
Yes, I can see that.
No, it's delicious. Chocolatey, malty.
I definitely get the graham.
Oh yeah.
Like right there. As soon as you swallow, you can taste the chocolate and the maltiness. But on the tongue, it is definitely graham cracker and marshmallow.
Yeah, everything's there.
I enjoy this. It's pretty easy to sip. It's got a good kind of like a little tingle in the mouth rather than it being super smooth. It's not thick like the Goose Island at all.
No.
For it being this dark, I was expecting it to be heavier.
Still a little crisp. Yeah, no, you're right. I tasting it a few more times. I think definitely marshmallow you can taste right up front.
Yes.
And then that like crumbly cookie graham sort of flavor.
That's good. I don't think that I would drink a whole bottle of this. Like, I think this amount's probably a little bit too much, but again, it's because I drank beforehand.
We don't have to finish it, yeah.
It's
I may not finish
it's
mine.
It is not as heavy as I was thinking it was going to be.
No.
From looking at it.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think most stouts are quite as heavy as the Goose Island one.
I know. That one just stood out. It was so heavy.
And that's kind of what they're known for from that beer, at least. But I love stouts. I love porters, dark beers. I'm not always in the mood for them, but
I also have to say, coming from Dogfish Head, this is a very subtle beer for this being from them.
I mean, it's not wild or crazy or anything like that. It's just it is different though. I can't say I've ever even heard of another stout that tastes like s'mores and graham cracker and marshmallow. Unless it's in the fridge that you picked out. Did you pick the same beer?
No.
Oh.
No, I didn't.
You're just messing with me?
Mm-hmm. That's good. It's enjoyable. Mm-hmm. I definitely could not drink a whole bottle of this just
Tasty.
Because I don't like dark beers that much. But I would say, like I was saying, for a dark beer, this is not heavy at all. It's very enjoyable. I could definitely see drinking this as a dessert beer.
Yeah.
But I don't see it with the other foods they recommend.
I was just starting to think about, like, what would this taste like with Mexican mole or barbecue? I don't know.
Maybe
barbecue.
But I don't know about Mexican mole.
Like anything spicy? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see that. But barbecue I could see.
Cheese? Creamy cheddar?
I would have thought like a smoked cheese.
Like a Gouda?
Yeah. A Gouda. What is that, Gouda? Very enjoyable.
And then chocolate cake and ice cream.
Pleasantly surprised by this.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good on you, Dogfish Head.
Yeah.
Interesting. It takes graham cracker, marshmallows.
You definitely get the entirety of it.
Chocolate, obviously.
Like, you are not struggling to find any of the flavors that were described. Whereas, like, we've had other beers where it's just, like, this set out, like, grapefruit, orange, and like, all this, like, rose petals, and you're just like,
you don't get the guava until the burp.
I don't taste any of that.
All right.
It's good.
It's good. If you find it in the store, pick it up. Try it. Mm-hmm. If you're into stouts.
I'd recommend it. Give it a shot. It is definitely different.
That's what Dogfish Head's known for.
That's true.
Bonus episode number 2. We're recording in a second. So be on the lookout for that. On the lookout for that.
Did you look at it?
I did. You want to split a can?
Yeah, it's fine.